Hello, Joanne Andrus here to play the A part of Festive March for violins and violas. So the cool thing is you are both playing the exact same thing. We do have to watch out for F sharps, and because that's in the key signature, right? But there is no C sharp in the key signature. However, you do get to play some accidentals that are C sharps. What are accidentals, you might ask? Accidentals are things that are written in the music that are not in the key signature. Okay, that can be a sharp, it can be a flat, it can be a natural sign too. Okay, so you might notice in measure 5, there's actually a little sign that's in some parentheses by the C, in front of the C. That's actually what a natural sign looks like, but it's made smaller and put in parentheses to remind you. It's not really canceling out the sharp in that measure because there isn't a sharp in that measure, but there was back in measure 3. Okay, so anyway, that's what a natural sign looks like. And when you have those C sharps written in, those are accidentals because they're not part of the key signature, but they're part of the melody that the composer decides to write. Okay. All right, watch for dynamic changes, watch for the first and second endings, and notice the ending is really kind of fun because it has a retardando and a forte at the end. You're crescendoing into that, okay? So it's pretty dramatic ending. All right, here we go. I'm just gonna play this once. It's a moderato tempo. If you need to adjust the tempo, just do it in the settings, okay? All right, here I go. 1, 2, beginning, here I go. C natural. Now you don't have the melody, the cellos do. So you soften down so they can be heard. Bridge. Now you have the melody, so bring it back out. Fourth fingers, right? Back to quiet. You're the only ones playing those 8th notes. Now it's smooth. I just hit my bow against my other stand. Okay, so that's how that big finish works, okay? We slow down and we get louder, which is interesting, okay? Now, a couple of things. I yelled out bridge at one point, okay, because there is one time when you're switching from the high D to the G, okay? And if you lift it, what's gonna happen? You're gonna hear something in between, okay? So I'm calling it a bridge because we go from string to string, just kind of rolling our hand like this or scooching it from one string to the other, okay? That happens in measure 11, okay? The other thing I wanted to point out is the 4th finger rule. I followed that pretty religiously, and I like you to do that as well because the more you use it, the better you get at it. Okay, if you always just kind of play open strings, are we ever going to get better at 4th fingers? No, not really. Okay, And that actually is a gateway to a lot of harder skills that you need to learn to be more advanced. And so it's really important that you get used to using that fourth finger in a consistent way. All right. Plus you can vibrato on it. All right. And you can learn to shift. Okay. I have a whole video on fourth finger rule. Okay. But I do want to just point that out for this video so that you know what it is. The fourth finger rule is if the note after is above, you may use open string. Okay. If the note after is below, you should use fourth finger. Okay. So a good example of this is in measure like 15. Okay. So you've got lots of stuff going on here. If you did it according to the fourth finger rule, which I kind of did, was fourth, open, fourth finger there, because you're going back down to that G. Okay. So anyway, just be aware that fourth fingers are your friends. All right. And I do want you to get used to using them. That happens again in the first ending measure, the first measure of the first ending. Okay. Measure 23. So anyway, and it also happens back in measure 7. Okay. So that happens a few times. And that's what I'm saying is if you get used to using it once, use it all the times that it works. And then you get better and better at it. And it starts to become a habit. Okay? All right. Do your best. Have fun. And notice that you guys are the only ones with those cool eighth notes in between the staccato notes. Okay? So those are important notes. And when you don't have the melody at measure 9, you don't. That's when the cellos take it over. You quiet down so that they can be heard. Okay? All right, good luck with the monster concert. Have fun, and I'll see you in orchestra. Ha ha!